Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really to blow you up.
Hey Boogies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Felicia Monique and I am so glad to have you here. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back, boo. And let's dive right in because we're getting into it today, boo. Today's topic is all about having a healthy vagina, how to maintain that cat, and what do you do when all of a sudden it's not agreeing with you and you're off balance, okay? So we're going to cover how to maintain a healthy pH balance, hygiene tips, and also just some fun, friendly tips and hacks that I have for just staying clean, fresh, and aware, okay? So let's get into it. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications, okay? Okay, because I want to see you here. I want us to be friends. Also, side note, I have a slight cold, so if there's like a slight jump forward or edit, most likely it's because I was coughing. All right, so let's hop into it. We're first going to talk about pH balance and issues that can occur when your pH balance is off. All right, and two things that are super common in women are bacterial vaginosis, which is a BV, or yeast infection. And because I care about you so much, I went ahead and looked up the actual definition of both of these things and how it shows up in your body and what are some typical causes, okay? Bacterial vaginosis is a common vaginal infection that occurs when there's an imbalance in the natural bacteria found in the vagina. Normally, lactobacillus bacteria dominate and help keep the vagina healthy. But in BV, there's an overgrowth of other types of bacteria which disrupt that balance, okay? So what you'll notice is you have thin grayish color, like discharge, might have an odor, might be fishy, and then some women also have itching and burning. It's not an STI, but it can occur after sex, okay? And a yeast infection on the other side of the spectrum is a common fungal infection caused by an overgrowth of candida, a type of yeast that's normally in the vagina. This is due to imbalances, antibiotics, hormones, stress, weakened immune system, etc. I also noticed that yeast infections can occur when you have like super moist areas in your underwear or your bathing suit or something like that, and it just stays there for a long time, that can lead to a yeast infection as well. And symptoms include thick white cottage cheese-like discharge, vaginal itching, burning, redness, and swelling of the vulva, and pain during urination or sex. Yeast infections also are not considered sexually transmitted, but can sometimes be triggered or passed through sexual contact. Okay, so those are the definitions. I'll be really transparent with you guys about it. I had an issue with BV for a while. I noticed that it was like after I had my first kid that my pH balance was always off balance. It was never right. It was just like, what the heck is going on? And back then, they didn't really know what else to tell you to do except to take antibiotics. So you go and take the antibiotics and you're great. And then literally a few days later, you're not great because now you have a yeast infection. So it was kind of like playing ping pong between the two for a while because I couldn't figure out the root cause. And I think there's a lot of women who don't understand the root cause, who don't understand their bodies, who don't understand what we can do to help ourselves on our end, on the back end, before it even gets to that point. So I just want to give you a few tips and tricks for maintaining your pH balance. The first thing you want to do is do an elimination trial, which means, is it sugar? Is it bread? Is it gluten? Is it an overconsumption of fast food? Like, pay attention to when you see that your pH balance goes off. Is it sex? And if it is there something that my partner needs to do on his side or her side that will help me maintain my pH balance? For me personally, I had to go through and change my diet a little bit, which was I had to lower the amount of dairy that I consumed. I love cheese. I love pasta with cheese and butter and all of the things. I did that. And I also had to cut back on a lot of the sugar that I intook. And I also had to quit smoking. And I don't know how this is for anybody else. I don't know if you guys are smokers or not, but cigarettes and weed definitely threw me the F off. It was like, even after I quit and I would like have like a random like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and smoke today type of vibe, I could tell that it wasn't, she wasn't happy. She was not happy. So figure out if there's something going on externally that you can do to change your internal organs. Okay, you know, a lot of stuff that happens in our body, it's because of what we're doing externally, consuming, bringing in, that ultimately end up impacting our vaginal health. Another thing that you can do after you've done like the elimination process and analyzation is invite yourself to have some vitamins. Invite them into your life. I am a heavy user of so many different vitamins and probiotics and things like that. Some of my favorites are, of course, like I just said, probiotics. I love ashwagandha. I love vitamin D. I love, there's a few others. I'll put them all on the screen, like the pictures of the product, and then I'll also drop the links below for you guys to take a look at them and see what helps, what works for you. And they just really do something for your insides, okay? Like probiotics, they have the lactobacillus in it, lactobacillus, I don't know if I'm saying that right, in them that you need so much of to maintain your balance. So if you don't want to take the probiotic pills themselves, you can eat yogurt. And yogurt, if you do, let's say just a regular, you don't have to do like the super sweet ones with a whole bunch of fruit. You can just do plain yogurt. And it has thousands, sometimes millions of lactobacillus in it that will help your vagina to be healthier. Ashwagandha, I know I took because it was just helping with like moisture. Another one, maca root, is really good for vaginal health as well. There's just so many different things that you can buy yourself before you even head into the doctor for them to hand you just a script for antibiotics and then like send you away. Another thing that I did to help my pH balance, I went and got a vagina steam. And girl, if you have a man, he'll love you for it. But also, it really just allows it to like get the steam in and then like flow all of that stuff like out of your body. It's almost like a colonic for your vagina. Now that brings me to another thing. Some women like to douche, I don't. Because like they tell you, when you are douching, you are not only putting this weird foreign object in there, but it's like taking out all the good shit. You need some of that shit, okay? So I would recommend doing a steam because it's just gonna flush you out, but not like a douche would. I definitely don't recommend douching, okay? So those are my tips for maintaining and figuring out how to help your pH balance. If you guys want, I can do a whole video on BV itself and like bring down all of the herbs and all of the vitamins and all of the things, and we can just go through each one by one and why it's so good, okay? Let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely do that for you guys. So let's talk about hygiene. One thing I think that people misconstrue is that, oh, if you have BV, you're dirty. I think if you end up having BV, you get super paranoid about it so much that like you dive into these products to make sure that you're clean. So when you're making sure that your area is clean, when I'm in the shower, usually that's my last step of the shower is cleaning my vagina. And that means only the exterior. So I will use my Honey Pot Sensitive Wash, the best one for sensitive girlies. They do, however, have other scents that are actually really good. But if you're sensitive, I would stay away from anything that's scented at this point, right? And you literally only need 3 pumps. You take it in your hands and you do the creases and the outside. Don't go anywhere near the inside, okay? When I get out of the shower, my creases are the first areas that I want to dry off. I want them 100% dry because that's also an area that if it stays moist, it's almost like your armpit, it's going to have an odor. There are multiple options for having like a deodorant in your area. There's this brand called Sweet Cookie. They have something that's called like the booty deodorant. I'll drop links for that. It was great to put in your creases. Lume all over body deodorant is great. You only need like a pea size of it to put in creases. And it'll keep you fresh all day, or if you take a shower at night, all night, and you'll wake up in the morning and it still feel fresh. Which also, I'll add this as well, at night you don't need drawers unless you're on your period. Why do you have panties on at night? Like, I let my cookie breathe at night. I think it's so important because you're gonna suffocate it all day the next day anyway. And if you're anything like me during the day, when I have to have on panties. Like, I don't, it's weird. But at night, let it breathe. Like, give it as much air as possible. Okay? I might not have nothing on under my blanket, y'all. Y'all just don't know. She breathing right now. I'm at home. Kids ain't here. She breathing. So I just think, like, but seriously, like, don't sleep in panties unless you're on your period, okay? Which also, when you're on your period, the type of products that you're using on your period are important too. I love to use organic pads. I love the honey pot pads. I even love the ones that have like that tingly sensation in them. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love them. I cannot give you any feedback on like the cups or any of that stuff. I do not use tampons anymore because I feel like they would throw off my pH balance. No tampons whatsoever. Pads only from day 1 to day 6. Okay? That's how long my period is. Just 6 days. And so that's super important, is what type of products you use there. You also want to bring along with you wipes. You want to use this non-scented wipes. Those are super great, especially when you're on your period and you go to you use the bathroom. Wipes are amazing. Down there wipes, honey pot wipes, baby wipes are great. I love a good baby wipe. So those are great. I'll drop those in the link below too. And so these are my main hygiene points. If there's other products that you guys use or other tips that you guys want to share, just drop it below for your sisters, because we all here learning. I'm 36 years old and I'm still learning. I'll see a video pop up on TikTok and be like, oh my God, I needed it. Okay. And I am not afraid to share it with anyone, because we're all women. What do we have to be embarrassed about? Okay. And so the last things that I just want to share with you are just a few things that I felt like were helpful on my journey. Just a few tricks and tips and things like that. I think the best thing to do is to wear cotton underwear. I do not wear thongs, okay? You will not catch me in a thong. It's just too irritating for me. It's never comfortable. I know it's there, okay? If you're a thong girl, go ahead with your bad self. But no thongs, no like cheekies or whatever that go up your ass and stuff. Because then as you're moving, they're already up your ass. Now you got your ass rubbing into your vagina. And so now you have shit in your vagina. I don't know. Same thing with thongs. Like, do you want shit in your vagina? Do you wipe back to front? Like, I don't know. Cotton full bootied underwear. If anything, a good boy short type of underwear is cool. They have girl boxers. Those are cool. If you want to wear something for your man, put them things on right when he's about to take them off. Because, girl, I can't wear anything that's tight in my areas. Not doing it. I think that's super important. And then also, like, when you're washing your underwear, be very mindful of what type of detergent that you're using. For a while, I couldn't use regular. I had to use like Drift on my underwear, and like they had their own cycle, like separate from my clothes. I washed them by themselves, okay? Which also, I know I said this, but I'm gonna repeat: when you wash your vagina, you do not need a washcloth. However, there are moments when you do need to wipe in them creases a little bit. Okay, so I would use no soap at this point. Say, for instance, before you do the wash or after, whichever you prefer, you get a fresh, clean washcloth, okay, and you just wipe out the inside of your vagina. Just wipe it out, because yes, you don't need a washcloth to like do the creases, but the inside, girl, you You get what I'm saying? I just think it's super important to like just get them folds and them creases clean with a clean, fresh washcloth with no soap. Which means when you wash that washcloth, you probably want to do it in that gentle washing solution, like I mentioned, like Draft or something, or a sensitive wash or unscented with your panties. That's like, okay, this is my coochie cloth, basically. Okay. Another thing that I think is super important is just like maintaining how it looks. I don't know, when it look good, I feel good. So I like to get mine waxed. But if in between waxes or I ain't waxing it, a good nair or quick hair removal is always great. I do not shave it because, baby, one thing's for sure, certain, especially women with coarser hair, you gonna get a hair bump, and ooh, ain't nothing worse than having an ingrown hair on your vagina. It's like the most uncomfortable thing ever, and then you start like questioning yourself, like, is this a hair bump or is this? Anyway. Don't shave. Use a hair remover solution like Nair. They even have one that's specifically for like private, intimate parts to remove the hair. And then if you wax, that's great. Make sure that you're also exfoliating the skin, preferably just the front part, which will help to prevent the ingrown hairs. Okay? So those are my tips and tricks. Again, please let me know if this was helpful for you. If you need additional tips, if you have any questions, I have no problem like doing a whole bunch of research and plopping back on this couch to share with you other tips and tricks that are great for your vaginal health, because we're all on a journey and we're just trying to make it safely to this destination called life. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to this channel. I'll be back next week with another Girl Talk, same time, same place. And I love you. God loves you. And I'll see you next time.